see what happens.
All right, welcome back here to the Hill on News Nation. Donald Trump's vice presidential pick, the senator from Ohio, J.D. Vance, on the defensive today. This as the sweepstakes for who Kamala Harris might pick heats up with just 102 days until the election. So what could this race's VP picks mean for November? Stirewalt is here to break it all down. Chris?
All right. Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, newly minted Republican vice presidential nominee, is doing some cleanup today from some comments he made when he was running for Senate in Ohio, in which he said that people like Vice President Kamala Harris, who did not have children of her own, were crazy cat ladies who didn't have a stake in the future of the country. So take a listen to Vance on Megyn Kelly's radio show.
It's not a criticism of people who don't have children. I explicitly said in my remarks, despite the fact the media has lied about this, that this is not about criticizing people who, for various reasons, didn't have kids. This is about criticizing the Democratic Party for becoming anti-family and anti-child.
If you are starting your second week as a vice presidential candidate with why you think it's okay for people not to have children, but it's complicated, then maybe it's true that things are not off to a swell start. But how bad is it for Vance? Why don't we take a look? In the most recent New York Times Siena poll, here's how Vance scored among likely voters for favorable and unfavorable views. That would give Vance a net score of -3, but a considerable 13% who don't know enough about him to make up their minds. But we wanted to know, how would that compare to prior running mates who were not running as incumbents? So here's the ranking for the first-timers since 2008. All of these numbers, other than Vance's here, are from Gallup surveys, and they were all taken in the first month or so of these candidacies. And you see Joe Biden at the top of the charts, well-known and well-liked. Then you have Mike Pence and Sarah Palin. Pence was not well-known, but scored very well with Republicans and independents for a great net score. Sarah Palin got famous in a hurry and, contrary to the conventional narrative, was a big help to John McCain in uniting their party until she turned into a boat anchor with independent voters late in the race. Paul Ryan and Harris herself were both pretty well known, and we would basically say, okay, mid, as my youngest son would say, mid. So who is Kamala Harris's Joe Biden or Mike Pence? Who is the candidate for vice president who is, as Barack Obama would say, likable enough, but won't do any harm to the ticket? You'd love to get a Biden or a Pence out of this. At a minimum, you want a Ryan or a Harris out of this, right? You want, as her campaign wrestles with the questions of who to pick, the question that will remain is how much latitude will the Democratic base give her if she picks a likable, moderate white dude? Will progressives cry foul? What if the person is supportive of Israel? Democrats gave Barack Obama a wide berth when it came to picking a running mate, satisfied that they had their man at the top of the ticket. Will Harris get the same deference? I don't know, but I broke it down for you. I did it.
Stirewalt breaks it down. So I wrote down likable, moderate, white dude.
Yep.
Why is she going, for lack of a better term, in that direction?
Why is J.D. Vance unpopular? He's unpopular because he's very well liked by a small subset of the Republican Party who really digs it. They really dig it. It's the nationalism, it's all that stuff. Where does Donald Trump need help? We were showing the graphics of the women. He needs female voters. He needs help with female voters. J.D. Vance does not attract female voters. That's why he's out talking about why he thinks it should be allowed for women to not have children. So what does Kamala Harris need? She needs somebody in the middle. She needs a moderate. And it would be helpful for her to have a dude on the ticket. That basically, think about it this way. What did Joe Biden do for Barack Obama? Barack Obama said, hey, white dudes in Pennsylvania, I'm not mad at you. I don't dislike you. I like you so much. I will hang out with one of you. I will hang out with your boy, Joe Biden, right here. I'm fine with you. Kamala Harris needs to do the same thing for white dudes and say, I like these guys. I'm good with them. I will hang out in the backyard in jorts. We'll listen to yacht rock. We're going to do it. It's going to be fabulous.
I have a question, just to go back to J.D. Vance. Do you think now that Kamala is, front and center ahead of Biden, they replaced Biden with her, do you think he regrets his choice to make
if Donald Trump and the Republicans had this to do over again, if there was a time machine that could take them back and they would know what was going to happen with Biden and Kamala Harris, I highly doubt that they would have taken such a risky pick with J.D. Vance. They'd at least go for something neutral like Doug Burgum from North Dakota. Somebody, because remember, what's the first rule of picking a running mate?
Do no harm.
Do no harm. Don't take any chances on anybody. Don't swing for the fences. Look for somebody that's going to be okay. If they can add a little something extra, go for it.
Where are you? Thank you for watching. And make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.